was absolutely the only one who knew how stressed he was after defeating Dio. For some reason, we were back in Egypt again.
What? They're back in Egypt?
It was previously used to prevent light from entering the room before JoJo could take this book full of quotes from the shelf and sit down on a couch to enjoy it. It was early in the morning. The air was filled with the classic dry and stuffy taste of desert.
Okay.
His emerald green eyes focused intently on
Emerald
the page.
green.
They are
Emerald
not
green. Jotaro? Okay.
He was a dreadful and mighty rival, but he was destroyed and had become a memory of the past. Nonetheless, Jotaro was still recovering from the wounds he left behind. Although my user seemed utterly detached and calm all the time, he used to be just a young man who was forced to take in the responsibility of protecting his own family all of a sudden. He didn't tell anyone that he had a hard time dealing with the death of Kakyoin, and I was the only one he allowed for keeping him accompanied. Every stormy and howling night I would wake him up before the nightmares could get to him. And I felt a wisp of flame burning inside my empty heart when he lifted up those jade-color irises, grinned and whispered, "Thank you," softly into my ears. As a stand, I didn't have feelings, I supposed, so it was a bizarre thing to say that I felt something alluring about my user and I wanted something more than just to defend and fight for him. I haven't figured out exactly what I wanted from him, or what this feeling of obsession was. All I could do was to remain emotionless and speechless when we spent time alone, because it was still part of my duty to keep him free from anything destructive. A ring of dim halos surrounded him. Sparkling substances generated from the open book were floating gently around like fairy dust. There was a
Just
faint
say
sense
dust,
of opinion as I gazed
motherfucker!
into his eyes. They were so bright and brilliant, and of course, most of the time they were hidden under that symbolic hat he wore every day. Daylight shined in them like shooting stars dripping in a foggy night sky. I wondered how could someone be both stoic and seductive at the same time. Star Platinum, what's the problem? Do you want to show me something? He looked up and his eyes met mine. I wasn't sure
He's
whether
gonna
he
take
was
his
testing
dick
me
out?
or he wasn't aware of my
I
stare.
hope not.
Either way, he caught me off guard and made me quite nervous. Therefore, I pointed a finger hastily on a random line in the book. "You were reading too?" He tilted his head and asked surprisingly. I didn't even get a chance to see what I was pointing at as he read out the line slowly and clearly. "I swear, by my life and my love of it, that I will never lie for the sake of another man, nor ask another man to live for mine. Is that what you want me to know?" His voice was calm and deep as usual, so I nodded hesitantly, and gave up on the thought of trying to vindicate. My
Okay.
face might be flushing, but fortunately, it wouldn't be that obvious considering my translucent appearance. He hummed, which made me more anxious, and returned his sight to the print. I started to wonder if he felt awkward for what I did. I didn't mean to confess at this very moment, but it was all determined thanks to my lovely precision. "I'm glad that you think that way, Star Platinum. You are always my best companion." He flipped the pages and pointed to an italicized line. "But I think this suits us more. Life has taught us that love does not consist of gazing at each other, but in looking together in the same direction." I read silently as his finger moved smoothly across the page. "Thank you for always standing behind and fighting for me, Star Platinum." He smiled at me. That's when I thought I saw the stars through his
Are you
folds and
kidding
smelled the love in the air.
That was wild.